The X-tinction Agenda, comics of the 80s, 90s, and more.
All right, so we're back to the X-tinction Agenda podcast, where we previously announced that we were going to be talking about X-Men, but probably I don't know if we're going to only talk about X-Men. That's probably going to drive us insane at some point.
Well, we are talking about comics at the very least.
We're talking about a lot of comics, and probably a lot of comics from a really dark and sad era. Because, I'm probably never get sick of that. So, how did you feel about episode 1?
Episode 1 had a little bit of chop. So I'm glad we're pressing forward and we've got some new material.
There we go. That's it. We're just gonna put it behind us.
Yeah.
So today we got ourselves. Now I don't want to disappoint the audience that doesn't exist, but we're not going to be doing Chuck Watch again. We're going to be talking about Uncanny X-Men, 98 to 100, and then 112 to 117, and then we're gonna look at Dale Keowan's Pitt #1, indescribable.
Pitt #1.
Yeah.
Yep. From the dawn of Image.
Yeah, 1993. It was the second best-selling comic that month, next to Superman 75, which was the death of Superman.
That's upsetting.
Yeah, it didn't even beat the death of Superman. Loser.
Well, I can't believe that it was even in the same conversation. Anyway, we'll get into that.
Yeah. So the old Uncanny X-Men. Let's talk about 98 to 100 first, because those are pretty much a different beast with Dave Cockrum art. I've read these issues in reprint editions when I was a kid, probably at about the same time that I was reading that the X-tinction Agenda. So I'm very familiar with this story. What did you think about it?
It moved to a lot of different places. There was a good story. I had fun. I think I have a lot of talking points on it. The art was it's dated, but so is the coloring from that era. But it's it just moved to a lot of different locations. The plot changed. Overall, the X-Men kind of felt like broken up a bit. It was very cool.
Yeah, Cockrum. This is in 1975. He had just come off, like, he used to draw Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. So you kind of get, it just looks kind of hokey. Like it's not what we're gonna, especially when we're gonna be talking about John Byrne later, who's like this fucking revelation in comparison. But I don't want to shit too hard on Cockrum, because he's got some really interesting features. Like he's really, like Bogdanov, he's an excellent cartoonist, and unlike Bogdanov, if you give him a little bit of time, he's going to produce something very nuanced. Like, I really like how he displays Jean's, like the psychedelic power display that envelops her whenever she uses her telekinesis or anything like that. It's a very, it's something we don't do anymore, and I think that would be really cool if you did, because otherwise it just looks like red blobs around people.
You know what? Banshee's hair was a lot to take in.
Yeah, it's practically offensive.
It was weird, and that's the issue where half the team just quit, right? They up and just said, you know what, we've been here since we're kids, and we're not happy, and that story just was bizarro. That I had read a couple issues prior to issue 98 as well,
right?
And then the Sentinels attacked after that,
Right.
when they were kind of all over the place. Professor X also mind attacked the Sentinel, which I have a bit of beef with.
Yeah, Storm has undeveloped powers as well. Suddenly, like when they're in outer space, she's like, maybe they can use the cosmic storm as well. And I was like, no way, man. That's too much. Um, One thing that I would like to, getting to the power thing, Storm, she makes this like hurricane over New York City. And I would have liked a better artist to have drawn that, because that's actually pretty incredible. There's so many different ways they could have shown the power of that. It was kind of disappointing.
Yeah, like you say, he had his own kind of flair,
Hmm.
and then it didn't. It just didn't. I don't know. I don't know.
How did you,
It was so hokey and old.
yeah. How did you feel about the villain with the guy that built the Sentinels?
Oh yeah, and he had them. He space abducted them.
Yes.
Yeah, because they had a fairly easy time escaping, and smashing up his sort of half-assed Sentinels that he built with old schematics.
Yeah.
And then they B&E'd from his broke out of his little installation and ended up in the dead of space. Big fail.
Yeah, that's gonna someone rips that off later in the Executioner's song. They have like almost the exact same scene with Jean and Cyclops escaping onto the surface of the moon, and everybody has the revelation they're not on the Earth at all.
That's
So
right, yeah. And then Cyclops is like forever like brooding about this. And then he has it. They stole a spaceship.
they didn't steal a spaceship. They worked with scientist astronaut Peter Corbeau,
No,
who
I don't.
I
They kind of stole it. I don't. They were not the correct mission crew.
oh, Peter owns that spacecraft, man. It's Starcore. Um,
I don't know.
Incidentally, the Peter Corbeau was the college roommate of Bruce Banner. Uh, I went and looked up his little bio because he doesn't show up anymore. I think a scientist astronaut, sort of spaceship man in the middle of a city. He should have a greater role.
But no, I disagree because I think that he was specifically there to drive the plot.
Yeah.
They're like, how do the
How
X-Men
do we
get a
get them?
spaceship? Oh, let's do a spaceship guy and
Yeah.
have them and the spaceship guy go, and the spaceship guy's cool with them trashing a fucking whatever $1 billion
He
spacecraft.
he's a hero. He's a fucking big deal.
Now I wrote here Stephen Lang. Um,
Okay.
eh, I have no idea what his motivation was.
Yeah.
He has no motivation other than just being a racist, I think.
Yeah.
From
He's
what
a
I can
vicious.
tell.
Yeah.
He kidnapped mutants and took them into space because he's racist. That's it.
Yeah. Which is
You
pure.
figure with yeah, but with that kind of budget and that kind of like malicious intent, like should you really like have like a better end game than that? God, that's just weak.
Well, he just wants to get rid of the genetic impurities.
Yeah.
It's underdeveloped. He he also gets his money from actually, and he is kind of low budget. Like he's in a decommissioned space station. I get the impression that he's kind of like snuck his way in, using other people's money. He's got substandard Sentinels. Like once they figure him out, they just beat the shit out of him.
Cyclops really gave him the real beatdown.
Yeah. He demonstrated that it's okay to punch Nazis.
Yeah, he was like he didn't even really particularly like he'd hit him with his eye beams, just to soften him up so he could come over there and just beat him with his fists.
Yeah, no, and he really beat the fuck out of him. Like they had to pull him off. Like,
Yeah,
and
you're killing him.
yeah,
He's just giving him the fucking beating of a lifetime with
and
his bare hands.
I don't think we see that from Cyclops ever again. Um, I might be wrong about that, but like he's really a loose cannon in these early Claremont stories.
Well, so was Wolverine though. Wolverine was completely uncontrollable. I think it became like almost a gag as the issues went on that he couldn't take any basic instruction. He just like popped his claws and went, "Whoa, time for a fight!" And everyone was like, "No, that wasn't the plan." It's fucking ridiculous. I can understand why Cyclops got frustrated with him.
Yeah.
Fastball special.
Oh, you don't see the fastball special in these early ones, do you? Oh yeah, you do. That's right. When they're fighting, that's right. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that's good.
They
I don't know if this
is a couple of them over this arc.
Yeah. That might be the first appearance of it in issue 100. Practice that. Do that thing we've been practicing.
Oh yeah, fucking! I love the fastball special. Seems like in Colossus, it's not just restricted to Wolverine, but it was used with Wolverine.
Yeah, yeah. So the secret history. So they all knew. So when they're getting on the, there's a little. It's issue 100, right? So there's some meta commentary there. Did you notice Stan and Jack commenting on the kissing? And then there's also when they're getting on the space shuttle. There's like the commentators. They're like international, interracial, intersexual, something for everyone. And I didn't know this, but the original so X-Men was canceled for a good long while, and then it was brought back with these new members. And you know it's a much more diverse cast. And one of the reasons for this diverse cast is so they could sell to other markets. It's straight up diversity capitalism. And I can't help but think that Claremont, that wasn't Claremont's idea. It was the editorial, and they kind of like, this is what we want to do because we want to sell to these markets. And I just think of not to constantly say fuck you to Chuck Dixon, but you know his complaint is like there's all this forced diversity in comics, and that's why comic sales aren't going well. Well, this forced diversity thing, it's been going on for a long time, and it doesn't produce bad work necessarily.
No, this story was a mess, but it was awesome. It was I almost wish it could have better art, but
and the sad thing is so where did I write it down? So Cockrum, he leaves at issue 105, but later on he's going to be back at issue 145 to 164, like that. After John Byrne up and quits, they just bring Cockrum back for like an extended period, and it's so disappointing. It's fucking garbage.
The other John Byrne's the one that I initially started talking about. I just kind of jumped ahead in my head with the Magneto sequence.
All that Annie stuff.
But back to issue 100. This guy, the racist guy. He only had the racist agenda. He was kind of ridiculous, but he did have robots that were the same as the X-Men. Which you don't want
to think about that too much.
I don't really know what his intent was. Like, what were you going to use those robot clones for? Just making the X-Men look bad later if you actually succeeded in your dumbass plot? I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's clear that he hadn't really thought everything through. Like he was kind of pathetic. The whole operation was pathetic.
Well, they did the cool. I liked the shock of the Jean Grey robot murder.
Pan to it, pan, and then what are you doing?
Oh God, Wolverine! Why? Just eviscerates Jean Grey. Oh no, what's happening? And I laugh. Turn the page. Oh fuck, it's a robot. Great.
Yeah.
And then what about the Council of the Chosen? Did you get to?
I did look that up because I was like, who are these fellas? Did you look this up too?
No,
No, it's the Hellfire Club.
Oh, fuck.
Maybe
of all the semi-neat moments that get ruined.
Yeah, because that did stand out to me as well, because it's basically like, I got a lot of money from the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah. The funding came from a baby shit soft secondary idea. Okay.
Yeah, because at first it seemed like, like even like I got the money from the Council of Elders, and you're like,
and I was like, wait, who the fuck are the shadow people? Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah. Maybe you do have motivation. Nope.
No, I'm just an unhinged loser.
Fucking space maniac. So then you had to skip directly to 112.
Yeah, because I didn't want to read too much Cockburn, because I knew that would really suck.
It was to be honest, right up until 112, I was starting to get set off a bit.
Yeah, no, and I figured, because like it's like making you watch something in subtitles, like no days.
Yeah, it's not good.
Okay.
Yeah, so now then
John
we'll
Byrne.
jump ahead to Magneto's ridiculous power.
Yeah, but he's still so fucking petty. It's still so fucking stupid, but also monstrous.
He, and it's just his capability and his bases, his fucking volcano base, where he just fucking handles the X-Men super easily, because his power is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a good question. I watched
Sure.
a YouTube thing one time where this guy made fun of Magneto's powers. So I thought it was kind of funny. Oh,
okay.
That his base power is just basic science. It's just like a scientific thing. Like, oh, I have magnetic abilities. It's just stupid. Is it stupid though? Like, there's the range of his power. Is it actually a dumb idea, or is it kind of awesome? I don't know.
I'm gonna go with it's super fucking awesome. I don't know. It's both. It's both really stupid, and super awesome. Just like everything else in comics. Like, he's the guy that wears his stupid red underwear and flies around and wants to enslave the world, but he happens to, but in principle, I guess it's like Storm's powers. Like, she can control the weather.
Like, it's almost like a base elemental power, I guess, but
yeah. So he uses it to fly around. He's also used it to mind control people back in the day. It kind of, early on, it was just whatever magic power you wanted him to have came from the power of magnets. He's Magneto, master of magnetism.
His energy shields. I can generate shields to prove why. That's it. Why? That's it.
Well, it's when you put two magnets together and there's the field. He creates like a super field.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. He just he's a magic wizard.
Yeah. So he was awesome though, and he kicked their asses, brought them back to his evil base, where he has a plan to hook them up into these fucking basically high chairs, and then he makes them idiots with some kind of they had a dumb pseudoscience explanation for reverting them
tapped right into their central nervous system.
Yeah, just making them
down.
have the fucking physical equivalency of a 6-month-old baby.
And all of this because he had been turned into a baby recently. I'm not sure if you caught that.
I didn't.
Oh.
I don't know how that went over my head. Anyway, then he puts them in there and lets this. He makes this really ridiculous robot maid take care of them. So she's fucking spoon feeding them as if they're just babies. And then this is what just gets him off. This is my big victory. I caught the X-Men.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Professor Xavier. Your team sucks. I'm the big man on campus. Now they're all gonna fucking eat baby food with my robot maid and contemplate how shitty their lives are. That's sick. Like,
it's really horrible. Like, I took a moment to like imagine what kind of fucking nightmare that would be.
oh my god, like you got problems. Like,
Yeah.
and like, how long was he planning on doing that? Like, was he just gonna let them atrophy and die in those chairs with the fucking robot thing going on? I don't know, man. That is, like, if you take a minute to think about the like long-term effects of his plan, like if that actually paid off and like a year went by, the X-Men would never have recovered.
No, for sure. I mean, they would have went into like some sort of mental breakdown state, and if they didn't die, due to nanny complications.
No, the nanny probably would have kept them alive, I guess. But I mean,
Their
like,
hair.
no, they maybe would have got blood clots from sitting in those chairs and had like grotesque heart attacks after losing like 100 pounds of weight. I don't know.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, a really sick plot. That guy needs some help.
And this is before Magneto becomes like the Magneto that Claremont will turn him into later. All that like Holocaust survivor stuff. This is still like Stan Lee era Magneto. Just straight up supervillain.
I'm glad that they got rid of this because this is fucked up.
Yeah, like, you need to kill this guy because he's gonna fucking nightmare your world. It's terrible.
Well, if I got him, and then Storm does the most ridiculous breakout I've ever seen. First, she in her mind, because she can't speak because she's a baby now. In her own head, she's a slobbering fool, but she like thinks to herself, Magneto's such a sucker fish. I was actually fucking adept by this age or whatever. I don't know what the fuck the excuse was. It was stupid.
No, that was it. That was the excuse.
And then she like shakes free a lockpick, picks out, and then the X-Men, lo and behold, out of nowhere, use fucking teamwork on Magneto to beat him. I don't know.
That's how you do it.
Well, yeah. Why didn't they do that the first anyway?
Yeah. Well, we'll get back to Wolverine as a loose cannon.
So they chop him down. Cyclops has got everybody running by the numbers. They're hitting him from all angles. Magneto's shocked and appalled. They're like fucking splash attacking me one at a time. I don't know what's going on. He can't deal with it. Why they didn't have Peter just kill him? Peter, pull his head off his body. He's done.
They need to do that like a lot.
He always kind of musters enough power to fuck them over, though.
Yeah, well, he's got to escape to fucking, I don't know, come up with some insane plot later. Build some other monstrous base.
So they fight him, they escape, and bam! We're in the Savage Land.
Yeah, one thing about these issues is it's one fucking thing after another. Like, it's just like, it's silly. How much, and like you were saying, everything just moves around so fast, and things just, this happened and this happens. Right into the Savage Land. I wanted to say that John Byrne loves to draw bases. That's crazy. The amount of work that he puts into those things, and it's just like, it's practically throwaway. But he's like, he would have been really at home in the Rifts universe, I think.
Yeah, those bases were like elaborate, and I liked the weird location in the volcano. That was cool. I also like that. I forgot about this. I'm just gonna dip back a second.
Sure.
When the team initially challenges Magneto, time to get fucked, Magneto. Ha! The whole team's here, and then he's like, "Hey, dick shits! I fucking flew us almost into orbit."
Right.
Look out the window, and they were like, "Oh fuck!" Like that's great. That's just like a power showcase. That way he could kind of prance around and fucking talk shit because they were like, "Well, I don't want to fall out of orbit." So
yeah, that's sucks. He's really got you there.
Wolverine was just gonna go at him anyway.
And it was nice to see that Scott was very frightened,
Yeah,
like
he
in his
should
mind.
be.
Yeah, and he's trying to talk everybody down. Stop! 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 You don't know what you're dealing with.
You could see the art was great too. I like because you could literally see the curvature of the Earth. He had them in like a fucking carny wagon out in
Yeah.
space.
Yeah,
that's not great. That's not great.
no.
Those are not good odds to survive.
Yeah.
Anyway,
What do you? Okay, so before we move on, how do you feel about John Byrne's art in general? Like, do you got anything to say about the art itself?
I really like it. It was he, like you said, in describing the base, and that he just has this he has like a more of a grand scope. Like his locations were rich. He just had a big grand idea for where his locations were going to be and what you were going to see when you were kind of tuning into the art. And yeah, it was rich and more grand than you were seeing in those previous issues.
And it still maintains a cartoonishness that allows you to pick up emotions and stuff like that. It's not stilted. It's definitely where you're going to get your Jim Lee from in the future.
Oh yeah, for sure. Even his Magneto, like Jim Lee, like directly took poses like I've seen Magneto in his grandiose Jim Lee pictures in like those exact poses.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So, yeah, John Byrne's the guy that like pretty much this is the big time. Like this is what everybody thinks of when they think of like classic X-Men.
How did you feel about the Savage Land? What I wrote here in my notes as a fuck pad.
Oh yeah, Colossus with his little fucking sex friends there. They're gonna go to their special island.
Yeah, they went to the Savage Land. Wolverine killed a pterodactyl. Okay.
Yeah.
Fucking saved Banshee's life. Cyclops gave him shit for being a loose cannon. So on and so forth. It was the first time that Wolverine was effective in any way.
And that's because one of the I was just going to say one of the things this is also when Wolverine starts to become more Wolverine-esque because John Byrne liked to draw him.
Oh.
And he's also Canadian. Or at least he studied in Canada, so he had a little special affinity for Wolverine.
Yes, I noticed topless, hairy Wolverine was looking jacked, looking good, looking fresh in the Savage Land. First time we saw him in the OG uniform, pants with the wing boots and no shirt.
Yeah.
And then Colossus was slaying Savage Land native chicks. Just triple up the babes for Colossus. Peter's here to give out the love.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's weird. Like, what?
It is a little weird. Like, and he's probably like 18, and he's just like banging all these like.
And the weird thing too is like Storm seemed to be enjoying herself in this place. Also, like there were some questionable themes. Moments that they just glazed over with dialogue, but there was native girls native to the Savage Land. I don't know. Not sure what to make of it.
Yeah, well, it's a natural place where you just you can just relax and.
Yeah, and there's a weirdly long time lapse too. Like, I'll just rest up and bang these people in this village.
Man, after that nanny thing and after surviving Magneto, maybe that's what you want.
You're going to give him a pass on this? Okay.
Well, people have died, so you have to celebrate life.
There you go. And Peter knows how.
Peter knows. He sure does. Did you want to come with me? I'm going to go with these girls.
Yeah, I got a couple more back at the ranch or back in my tent.
We'll never forget you.
And there was even like a dude jacked mohawk guy too, and was like under the impression he was kind of roving around. Maybe Storm enjoyed that guy. Who knows?
I don't know. I see you thought a lot about it.
Yeah, I put a lot into this one.
It's like erotic fantasies.
Yeah, and you can't just glaze over something like that. I see what was going on in that village.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Go on.
No, go ahead.
No, go. I was just going to move on to something slightly different. So if you wanted to talk more about sex fantasies,
was it the hot swim?
it was not the hot swim.
Okay, well, just pass right over that then.
Yeah. I wanted to say that this is also the first time that we see that Cyclops is really powerful and effective. Like I know Wolverine's like mind controlled or whatever for some of it, but he just fucking clocks him twice and sends him flying with his eye beams. And
yeah. Because Wolverine had kind of gone off the rails, and he had no choice. That was the that was Sauron, right?
Sauron,
attacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, he attacked them, put Storm down, and then Cyclops had to basically go with like, well, if you're getting attacked by one of your more powerful members, and you just lost Storm, who, let's face it, basically fucking bails them out of most situations.
Yeah, she's really effective. Like, she almost beat Magneto. She just kind of wussed out on that.
Yeah. But yeah, your Cyclops just puts Wolverine down. He's like, I got to get him out of the way here so we can focus on beating this guy, and I'm going to put him down now. And that was, I didn't realize, that's the first time you're like, whoa, that's that capability is in the hand all the time, right? Like,
yeah, and I think that gets lost a little bit later as well. I like this version of Cyclops a lot. I like his competence and power.
Him and Wolverine are always kind of going toe to toe. Try it, bub. Fucking, I'll take you on any time. But you don't. It's nice to not see Cyclops be weak in those confrontations. Like, to know, like, really, I mean, there's no clear winner in any of those scenarios.
Yeah, one thing that I maybe will touch on later, much later, there's the storyline Schism, where basically the X-Men break up because Wolverine and Cyclops aren't getting along anymore, and they have a big fight. And it's Jason Aaron, and it's pretty cool. I've never actually read it, and I'd like to see how that plays out. But that's much later. Also, Cyclops, like he pretty much goes ahead against that Death God guy, that Garrock.
There's like a sun god, man. Right?
Yeah, I don't know what he is. He's stupid, and he never shows up again, I don't think.
Yeah, it was really dumb. That was just to, I don't know, it was like almost to give them something to do while they were in the Savage Land.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just like, Claremont's still in the, and maybe he never stops being in the mode, but these early stories, like, I don't feel that they're going anywhere, and they're literally not. They're just,
no. I mean, like you would see Jean use her Phoenix powers in previous, encounters and stuff, and it was like completely like wasted. Like, there's no plot points given, no hints, no nothing. Just was like,
Yeah, like she's overwhelming Magneto, and then all of a sudden she's like, I don't know why I can't anymore, because the plot requires it. Because otherwise Magneto's you're not going to end up anyway. You can't move on.
I did enjoy the Phoenix and Beast thing, kind of just roving through life, thinking everyone's dead. Well, gotta move on with our lives.
Yeah, it happened real fast. After this, the other team members are gonna end up in Japan, and then we get Firestorm. Wait, no, what's that guy called? Sunfire.
Oh, Sunfire, yeah.
Yeah. I spared us that.
Yeah, I did. I did notice that, because I mean, we have when I was doing the older issues.
Yeah.
Because I actually dipped in to dip my feet into previous to 98, I think 96, 97. And then they had him in there too, and he was really like, oh man, like they were apparently still feeling very racist about the Japanese at the time, because he was portrayed as an absolute ass clown, and yeah, I guess that's just post World War II feelings, maybe still.
Yeah, possibly. I haven't read them. I don't know. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
just always been really turned off by his costume. He looks stupid.
yeah, he was a dick, and he was like, "You guys are." He was basically like a blowhard samurai that seemed like foolish, and they used like every stereotypical like type of like reference you can imagine. Like I only serve my emperor.
Oh.
That was really dumb, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh wow, this is offensive."
yeah. I think that's partly Claremont's. I would say he's a little like, especially when you look at what Wolverine's going to get up to later. You know,
Well, I
essentially
mean,
he's going to be speaking Japanese. He's going to go and Mariko and all that shit. Like, I
oh
think
yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, Claremont's got a real hard on for the Japanese, like samurai culture.
Well, I
I
mean,
think he was.
those writers are very old though too, right? They're much older than us. They're from a bygone era now. I mean, so their
Yeah, he's
reference
writing. This is
points.
75. Yeah.
Yeah, and even the things that they grew up with their parents telling them and their grandparents telling them, those stories would be very different from what we would grow up with.
Yeah, that's fair. So,
Yeah.
not giving
So
you a pass.
Xavier just feeling bad for himself at this point.
Yeah, he's a little upset. Just yeah, I didn't write anything about his Shadow King story. That's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah. I was under the impression that was the Shadow King. They just used a kind of a fat, bizarre guy. And okay, why was Xavier on a world tour anyway? That was fucking.
He was. Why was he in Vietnam? Like, fucking. I don't know.
He's,
He
he's
uh, he
he
had lots of
actually
money.
is. He's an idiot.
Good. I'm glad you say that.
Yeah.
He really is. Yeah. And I think more and more the only person I think who's really gotten Professor X really well is, I think, Claremont from time to time, but then I think Morrison finally eventually found a way to sort of write and think about Professor X. But generally he's just a piece of shit. He's just a stupid piece of shit, and he's heavy baggage. They got to get rid of him.
Yeah. You know what? And like, well, I think maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was Grant Morrison that just touched on the idea that like the reason the X-Men are all together and the reason that this is actually a thing is not really specifically because they're all fighting for this grandiose cause, but because there is some manipulation behind the curtain on every single member of the X-Men from Xavier.
Oh, I don't think that was a Morrison thing, but probably it's definitely something that's hinted at in a lot of the books. Like,
I like
yeah,
that. I don't think there would be any other reason to band together and risk your life day in and day out, unless like you were being twisted. I know that would kind of, I know you can I know that it's really only possible to glaze over that because it would make Xavier a hideous villain, basically.
it really would. Yep.
But I mean, like I
I
like
don't
that
know.
there's like the odd writer touches on like a nuance that he could be there doing something to that effect.
I think the problem is, though, it's too many writers over the years have latched on to this sinisterness of Professor X, and over time he's just become a villain. Uh, there's very few redeeming qualities to modern day Professor X.
Oh, he's
After
different.
all the revelations and shit like that.
He is difficult to empathize with. Even in modern day X-Men, if you want to like really dip your toes into some Fox movies here,
Right.
the Magneto character is much easier to empathize with. He's more human. He has a better agenda almost that benefits really the mutants. I don't know.
Yeah, well, Magneto's actually, incidentally, we'll have a chance when next time when we talk about Ultimate X-Men, we'll have an opportunity to talk a bit about that. Yeah, Magneto's he has some very good points,
Okay, not
is how they
not
say.
not the Magneto of this story. However,
no, but
he's
the
a pervert.
Magneto of later, yeah,
He's a pervert freak.
he just wants to control the world.
Not even. He just wants to put you in baby chairs. Fuck.
Yeah, well, only if you cross him.
Well,
Yeah.
I would like to not cross him. That's fucking awful. And so yeah, that was when Professor Xavier was in fucking, I don't know. These guys are so.
He's in Cairo.
Yeah, they're so man, like just I don't know, the way that these American writers display like world locations is kind of hilarious. It's basically like fucking he's in the same world as Aladdin.
Yes. Yeah.
There's like I can hear the music. There's like pickpockets. There's like
a lot of these
slimy guys with turbans behind the scenes. It's fucking.
Yeah, they all grew up. They all grew up reading pulp novels. You get the impression, and fucking watching Hollywood movies.
Right. Yeah.
It is very much an echo of the 50s and even 30s probably.
I've never been there myself, so if I was forced to write a book about it, I'd probably do the same thing.
That's true. We would have little to draw upon. It might even be accidentally more racist. Who knows, right?
Yeah, well, accidentally would be basically Aladdin every time. There'd be like some weird. There'd be a guy with a saber.
He finds a magic lamp.
Yeah, basically there'd be like weird police guards with sabers. We'll cut off your hand for stealing that fruit. Whatever.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Glad we're not writers.
Thank God.
Fuck. Save ourselves the emails.
Yeah, you guys are fucking assholes.
What do you mean? I'm trying to be representative.
Yeah, just that's all I had to go off of. Fuck.
Yeah.
Basically, the Mummy. Those are all my references. Indiana Jones.
Yeah, these are good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Storm's a pickpocket, and Xavier takes on the Shadow. The Shadow. See, did they ever? There was never actually any mention of the Shadow King, though.
I don't know. I don't think he calls himself that. I think that's later.
He was just a powerful, like
or whatever,
like a really powerful mutant that just came out of nowhere, and Xavier was just taken aback, and he was outclassed, and even on the astral plane, that was I was like, what the hell? Who is this? And I initially thought, no, this has to be the Shadow King, but they didn't do that. Xavier just kind of beat him. Well, he didn't beat him. There's just sort of a flash, and then
clearly he didn't, because he's going to come back later.
Right.
Yeah, the Shadow King was going to feature prominently in all story. Like he ends his run with the Shadow King thing in the Mere Isle saga, but the original plan was for him to have a huge confrontation by issue 300, around the time when Wolverine was going to get killed off and all that stuff. He had big Shadow King plans, but I don't think early on. I think early on he just, the way Claremont works, he just, he wrote one fucking thing after another, and then he would run out of ideas. And then his editor would say, "Well, what about this thing from back then?" And then he would
They have some dastardly villains too, like high-powered villains, like that the X-Men always have had that, right? Like the Shadow King's outrageous, Apocalypse is outrageous, Magneto is over the top, and what's one of the other ones? The Mr. Sinister, like these were like really like high-powered, resourceful, like terrifying mutants.
Yeah, and even the Sentinels, actually. Like every time there's a post-apocalyptic future, Sentinels are involved. So.
And the Sentinels were always difficult to deal with. They were always evolving. So that's what I mean. Like even when you were fighting like god-awful, like godlike mutants, and then in the meantime the humans were also developing shit to kill you too. It's like a lose-lose being with Xavier.
Yeah, and that once the Hickman story's all done and we've caught up, because basically what you just said is pretty much what Jonathan Hickman's recent House of X, Powers of X shit is kind of dealing with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice to be able to chat about that.
Yeah, Yeah,
So
that's gonna wrap. That miniseries is gonna wrap up in the beginning of
real soon,
October,
October 3rd.
and then we'll be able to go back and really give that a hash out.
Yeah, try anyway. The fuck.
Yeah, I might have to reread it a couple.
Speaking of Professor X being a fucking piece of shit, I'm pretty sure that this Hickman story is going to reveal a further level of piece of shitness. So
he's scary.
Pay attention for that.
Yeah. He's I don't know if he's more evil, but he's definitely more frightening in staging his X-Men.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. That I don't know how far along you are, because I know you
I haven't done 4. I have the 2 issue. I just got the 2 4s, House and Powers in issue 4, but I haven't read them yet because I was focused on this. Yeah.
Anyway, do you have anything more to say about these early X-Men?
No, I think.
So yeah, let's move on to we just picked Pitt #1 by Dale Keowan.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. So I was a huge Dale Keowan. I don't know who wrote it.
Brian Houghton.
Okay, all right. And I was a huge Keowan fan on his Hulk run. From he drew The Incredible Hulk with Peter David from 1990 to 1992.
I think a lot of people were really enjoyed that run. He has a really nice I don't know. He's a great artist. He's got a real stylistic kind of way.
Yeah. But he needs a writer who isn't Hutton, because this story is so fucking wooden. It's so shitty.
It's fucking terrible. Actually, to be honest, his art isn't even good, and I don't know if that's because he doesn't have the panels laid out for him. Like if he doesn't have us like maybe like if he was calling the shots and he was like, I've got these awesome scenes I want to draw, but like without being directed by like a proper writer, it's fucking not even good.
Yeah, because he left to his own device. Like he's a guy, you can't leave him to his own devices, because what's going to happen is you're going to rip off the beginning of Terminator 2. You're going to make all sorts of pointless references to movies. Like why are they making Scarface references?
Yeah. Why? Okay. Why is Pitt nude with no backstory at all and just being attacked by bikers? Also, what motivate in this image world are we like? Is that really how you want to say that the people in the world are like bigoted toward metahumans? Because that's just the same story as X-Men, kind of.
I guess I hadn't thought of that, but I guess you're right. But like, why do they? I don't know. This whole book is a sequence of whys. Like, why does the biker have ball and chain?
What these guys are like bad guys out of a shitty 80s video game.
Yeah. This whole thing's it was a very unpleasant reading experience. I liked looking at it. And like
I don't even think the art was good. Like it was like there's like a couple cool panels, but like really like you didn't even really get a good example of like Dale's art. I don't know, sadly.
Yeah, like he's really good. Like basically he just took his Hulk stuff and added some Wolverine and a stupid jacket and a Predator mouth, I guess.
Kind of, yeah. Like, I mean, I think the most iconic thing about this book is his cover.
Yeah, which even that isn't great. You know, like
it's just memorable. It's not outstanding.
Yeah.
His people, his regular people that he draws, like the little boy.
Mm-hmm.
Those are that art is. And the detectives and so on and so forth, which is just a fucking mess of a plot. That art is actually structured better than anything else in the book.
And I think this is one of his like, I think what we're going to end up landing on is that, and I think we already have, is just like he's very good at drawing the normal people and accenting it with strongman superheroics, but like he can't do full strongman superheroics, especially not in a dark vein. Like he draws people really well. And he's got that, I keep using the word cartoonishness, but that's the best way to describe when you're able to convey emotion through your figures.
Yeah, he actually reminds me kind of early Todd McFarlane, which I know all these guys were kind of. Oh, sorry.
No, go on. I thought you were going to say something else.
Yeah, no, these guys were just kind of breaking out around the same time, right? So, they have some similarities, I'm sure.
Yeah, I want to hold back on my opinions on McFarlane until we cover Spawn later. I had a little bit of a revelation on that guy.
You're gonna get
not
mad.
A good one either.
Oh shit! I don't think anyone. Todd's a prick, but he was bumping up against other pricks, so hey.
Oh no, I don't mean personality-wise. I mean art-wise. I mean, I realized what his art was. Anyway.
You're gonna try and make me sad.
I'm gonna make you sad about what his art is. Yeah, we don't have anything extra to say about Pitt. It's done.
No,
the
villains are confusing. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Put your hands up. Ooh, big rock people. What the fuck? I don't know.
Yeah. So don't read Pitt #1, everybody.
Yeah, don't bother. Like, if you want to look at it, the art's like semi-okay. Like, I think fucking Youngblood was better than this.
Wow, we're gonna find out. I bet we're wrong.
If there, you know what? I'm gonna fucking put this right on the docket right now. If there's anything worse than fucking Pitt #1, I'm gonna be shocked.
Yeah, it was phenomenally bad. I had no idea that it was gonna be this bad. It's just
I don't even know what I'm not even. Like, page to page, I'm not even fucking sure that I could discern what the plot was.
Yeah. No, anyway, whatever. So,
yeah. Okay.
So that's
that.
That's a wrap on that. So next time we get together, we're going to be talking about Ultimate X-Men #1, Volume 1. I'm sorry, that's right. First 6 issues. And then we're going to get back to Dixon Watch with Team 7, but we're going to read all 4 issues.
Ooh, the big... full load. That's going to be much better than Pitt.
Yeah, we're going to have lots to say. I can already tell.
Oh, I'm excited.
Yeah. So anyway, can't all be winners.
Yeah, signing off, I guess, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go deal with the Screaming Kid. You have yourself a good day.
All right.
Peace.
Now, all we need is a little energon and a lot of luck.